Hello my friends, and welcome to another installment of our little tarot lessons. I was originally filming this outside. It was beautiful. The birds were singing, the sun was shining, it was so quiet, the wind chimes, like no neighbors, like it was just perfect. And then all these earwigs came out of the table that I had all my stuff on, and it terrified me. Like they were everywhere. I felt like there was like 40 million of them. They're creepy little antenna things and those weird butt pinchers. Like, ugh. One was like black almost, and then there was one that was like this gross light brown, and I really can't even tell you which one was more disgusting. Like the more I think about it, the more horrified I feel. I had to come in and go through everything to check for earwigs. Every time my skirt touches me, I think it's an earwig. I am just totally freaked out. So unfortunately, the video is not happening outside today. That is just not happening. I hope maybe you'll be able to hear the wind chimes and the birds. You probably won't. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't right now. Every year I seem to have a run-in with those devil bugs, and I just, oh, Jesus. Okay, I hope that was the last run-in I have, the first and last, and it's over, and yeah, so we're inside, and we're gonna stay inside, I think, until they're gone. Oh my gosh. We are on lesson number 2. I hope that you enjoyed the first lesson where we talked a little bit about the major and minor arcana, and we talked about how the 4 different suits reflect kind of our bodies, as in the sense that pentacles are our physical body, cups are our emotional body, wands are kind of our spiritual body, and our fire and our, our passion. It's hard for me to describe that. And swords are our mental and, our mind, in that sense, our intelligence, you know what I'm trying to say. So we went through all of that, and then I asked you to take and live with one of the cards. We're going to continue to do that as we go through. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just watch these videos and do whatever you want. But I will tell you, the more time you spend with the cards, the more time you apply them to your life, you apply them to people that you meet, you form a relationship with the images, and they start to become part of you in a way. Like you close your eyes sometimes and you can see them, or you see them when you're out and about, you'll come across people and you'll think, oh my God, that's so 3 of Cups and things like that. And that's a wonderful gift that you can give yourself, to just be able to experience the cards, in life. And the more that you study them and spend time with them, the easier that will be. And I promise you, it's very enriching. It really, really is. It's probably one of the best things you could do for that wonderful, gorgeous soul of yours. Whoops, I hit that with my boobs. I'm out of control. Oh my God, the earwigs got me shook up. I shouldn't, look, I did it again. Okay, we're good. I won't touch it. Ooh, just terrified. So today, we are going to talk about 3s, 4, and 5. And we're going to go through, sticking with the minor arcana, we're going to go through the whole minor, and then we'll get to the major cards. So when you think about 3, when you pull out your deck, pull out your decks though, and get your cards lined up. So get out your 3s and get out your 4s and your 5s. And just put me on pause and go do that if you haven't already. So have them in front of you so you can work through this with me. I want you to look at the cards and don't stress out about it. Just look at them. How do they make you feel? How do they apply to your own life and feelings, emotions, experiences that you have had on your unique human journey? So when I look at the number 3, and I kind of just wrote them in my journal here, I put down change, transformation, unity, the Holy Trinity, and hope. So when I look at these cards, that is what I see. I see those kind of things, and I see change happening. We've got change happening with the 3 of Pentacles. People are they're unity, they're together, and they're working on a change. They're creating something. We also have the Holy Trinity happening because we're in a church. There's a lot of Christian imagery in the tarot, and I really like that myself. I think it's probably partially due to growing up Catholic, so a lot of this kind of rings a bell to me. It resonates with me. That's why I always get confused when people think that this isn't holy, or they think it's the devil, or they think tarot's you're talking to demons or whatever, when really, like, if you actually spent time with the deck, you would see that this is a wonderful way to talk to God. And it's just, I don't think it matters what you call God, you know, spirit. It's there. So you can look, as a pagan, I can still look at this and find it to be very spiritual. And I think as a Christian, you can do the same thing. I'm going to do a Between the Lessons topic about that. I just kind of got on a little tangent, but I do plan to discuss just how tarot can work. You can be any faith. You don't even have, you can be atheist and still read the cards. Anyways, the Holy Trinity. We're in a church working together, unity. And those white lilies, inspiration. So people are feeling inspired. This is another change card. I see this card as someone who's looking at their future, and they're kind of thinking, okay, this is it. I'm going to make a leap. This is someone who's going back to school or making a plan or moving, and they're doing something big to change their life. So it falls into that transformation of 3. And of course, what do you see when you look at this card? Do you see someone maybe going on vacation? Do you see someone who's been through a lot because he has got so much different clothes on, and it looks like he has some armor on here? So maybe is he a warrior coming back from battle, trying to get home, longing for home? I mean, there's so many ways we can go with this card, and that's also what's awesome about tarot. So don't just base your feelings off of what I'm saying. What you see is valid. This one, yikes. Change for sure. Changes are coming. Changes to your relationship. This could be changes of your health. I remember the lady who taught me tarot said that it could be the cutting away of something. So like a surgery, or heart surgery, heart issues. I will tell you that one time I did tarot for my sister and I on New Year's Eve, and we did like a year spread, so with 12 cards. And in November, we both had this card, and it didn't make sense. My sister was really, really young and too young to be in a relationship, and I wasn't really in a relationship, so it just wouldn't have been a heartache or a heartbreak. And what happened was my dad had a heart attack in November, and it was really, really, I mean, he's fine, he's alive now, but it was a big event in both of our lives. So change, don't just see it as heartache. It can be so much more. I really love this one. This is another unity card. This is friendship. People being together, celebrating, having a good time. I always think there's wine up there because I love wine, so, but it could be anything. You know, they've got fruit and vegetables going on, so it's a time of celebration, a time of abundance. And I also see this as the Holy Trinity being women, and we have maiden and mother and crone, and the 3 stages of womanhood, and being proud to be a woman, and how being a woman is magical. These cards were illustrated by a woman, so you'll see as you go throughout the cards, there's a lot of strong female characters, which is another thing that I absolutely love about the Rider-Waite. It's a nice balance in that regard, at least. So 3's, Holy Trinity, hope, change, big transformations, almost forced, like not so much forced because you're making the decision, but transformations that are creating new environments, moving to something new, all kinds of good stuff like that. So what do you think about the 3's? I want you to tell me about it. Let me know. We can talk about it. Because I think that it's so much fun talking tarot. So let me know what you think. 4. The number 4. I always think about balance with the number 4. I think about tables and chairs. You know, 4 seems to be the number that holds all of our furniture up. So I see stability as well. So balance and stability with 4. And I also see this flip side where sometimes you overdo it with the number 4. So it can be almost like overachievement. It's the number of stubbornness. Makes me think of Taurus because and Aries with their like bull and kind of ram stubbornness, digging your heels in, that kind of thing. By the way, I love you, my Tauruses and Aries out there. Logic, achievement, kind of being smart and following things through, not rushing through it. 4 is a slow number. It's an earthy number. So what do you think about when you see the number 4? I want you to really like, just think about that. How do these cards make you feel? Do you feel safer with these cards? I know I do. With the 3s, I kind of felt with some of them a little uneasy. Like we were going to go through some good changes and then we were going to go through some bad changes. And with 4, I just feel a little safer. I feel like things are slowing down. So balance. A happy couple. They're celebrating. Personally, I see this as the marriage card. This card to me is a wedding. And it's a perfect couple, perfect pair. And I love how you really can't tell who's the woman or who's the man, or maybe they're both women or both men. So I try to find ways to make sure that when I read the cards, I can see balance and the way the world is changing. Anyways, a happy couple. Celebrating, married, they've achieved together, they have similar passions, so they balance each other out. They're on the same page, they enjoy the same things, and they have the same goals. And people are happy about it. People are celebrating it. So it could be a good partnership, it could be a relationship. But something's good is going on here. It's a happy card. This one, stability, balance, again. Saving some money. I always see this as saving money. You're putting money away. You're holding some money. You're getting some coin. You must have big goals and aspirations. Things that you've wanted to do since you were a kid. You know, long-term goals, plans, just lots of ideas for yourself. And now you're in a position maybe where you could start saving a little bit more and you can make those dreams come true. A couple of people I've read for, I've gotten the strong message of them being from an old city and having a very old soul. And that sometimes comes through for me on this card. Save your money, it will work for you. Seek balance in your life. Sit down. So I get that kind of vibe. What do you think about this card? So this one is the flip side. This is why I personally don't read reverse. I have no opinions, or not opinions, I have too many opinions. I have no, I just don't care. If you read reverse, that's cool. I think that's awesome. Like, I think that is definitely legitimate, and I think that presents a whole other layer of the tarot, which I think is so cool, but it's never been something that really worked for me, so I don't. And the reason that I personally don't is because I feel like the cards themselves have the reversed in them. It's just that, like, they all have the positive and the negative, and it just kind of depends what comes to me with my intuition. It also, I feel like we have 2 here that are very positive, very like upbeat, and then we have 2 that are a little bit darker. So there's my kind of light and dark of it. So that's just my thoughts, I think. But again, reading reverse, awesome thing to do, and I am not the person to come to for help with that. I'm sorry. So anyway, the reverse feeling is what I get, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and to shorten what I just said. And it's like forced rest. So you have to slow down. You have to embrace that 4 energy of slowing down. If you don't, you're going to overdo it. You are going to be so stressed out, and you're just going to be forced to rest. That could be sickness, that could be injury, that could be a breakdown, that could be depression coming on. It could be, it's just something, your body's way of saying you're going to stop, whether you like it or not. So it's time to rest. It's time to reflect. Maybe it's time to change your thoughts to something a little bit more spiritual, because we're in the church again. Remember, swords are your thoughts. So maybe you're overthinking things. Maybe you're overdoing it with that, putting too much pressure on yourself. Sometimes the universe will force you to stop whether you want to or not. This is another reverse one to me. It's about stubbornness. slow energy. 4. Just kind of being stuck in your own world, refusing to change, refusing to move forward, being unwilling to accept new ideas. And someone's trying to help you. Someone's offering you some love. Someone's offering you some help. So it's time to accept that help, and that one might help you find that balance that you're looking for. So you're not so tired. So you're not so depressed or stuck. So just think about those for a little bit. All right. Last but not least, we have 5. Now 5, it's a dark number. It's spooky. And it's kind of one of those ones of disruption, and yeah, it's just dark. They're all a little bit dark when we get to 5. Tarot, like life, is light and dark and growth and pain and celebration and grief and birth and death and all of that. It's all in here, baby. All of it. So now we're going to get a little bit dark. 5 to me is the number of disruption, sadness, negative energy, static. Like everything's kind of all over the place. It doesn't feel right. It gives you the heebie-jeebies. It's that feeling before a storm comes. Stuff like that. Danger. Be aware. I wrote sadness twice when I was brainstorming, so definitely sadness. Grief. So that to me is the number 5. And sometimes we have to delve into those dark sides of ourselves. We're not all Miss Sunshine and Rainbows. This card, to me, disruption, negative energy, that's static. You should really be aware if this card comes up, because I feel like you're going to get involved in a fight or an argument, or people around you are quarreling. Could be a warning to stay out of the gossip, stay out of the drama. These people aren't going to change. It's like they all have a similar goal, but they just can't get on the same page. And if they would just listen to each other, they would find so much more success. This card, poverty, worry. You're worrying about your money. You're worrying about your house. You're worrying about where you can get your next meal from. Everything's cold. But there are people, sometimes in a worse situation than you, that can still pause and be grateful for what they have. They can see hope. They can look up to hope. They're not ashamed to ask for help or embarrassed. So it's about how you handle your situation. It's a warning that you can make things better. These are our heavy hitters. Static, static, static. His hair even looks staticky. Just look out. Someone's going to try to take something from you. A manipulator could be around. Someone might be trying to use your words and thoughts against you. On the flip side, this can also be about taking. You're taking on too much. You're being like a psychic vampire in the sense that you're taking too much. Just you're taking too much time from people, or you're overdoing it. You're abusing people's patience and their love. This card. This is the saddest card in the deck. How does it make you feel? What does that black shroud make you think of? To me, it makes me think of the shroud of grief, that black cloud that hangs over you when you lose something or you lose a relationship, your heart is broken. Someone dies tragically, everything's going crazy, the water's moving very fast, so you're feeling out of sorts, you're in a whirlwind. The card wants to give you hope, though. It wants you to know that you've suffered many losses, but you still have something to live for. You still have love. Yes, it's not the same, and it's less because someone's missing, but you still have love. There are still people who love you, and it's your choice if you want to stay in this position with this grief, this heaviness, or if you want to start to heal and you want to start to see love. Tarot gets heavy, it gets deep, and that's why it's worth every minute of time you spend learning about it, studying. What I want you to do is the same thing that I asked you to do for the other cards. I want you to please go through and try to learn as much as you can about, at least one card from each, or do them all if you're like me and you like to kind of get right into it. Apply them to people in your life. Do you know someone who's grieving? Do you know someone who's lost someone that needs some hope, some help, maybe some extra love? Or do you know someone that's like a bit of an asshole? I mean, how many of us know those people? Or are there people around you quarreling? So take a look at your own life, take a look at your friends, your family, examine them, watch them, and apply those cards to those people, because you're always going to remember, maybe you have some asshole in your family, and if you apply them to that person, you're going to be like, oh yeah, Uncle Frederico, he was a real asshole, and then you're going to think about a manipulator or a liar or something like that. So think about that. Spend time with your cards, shuffle them, look at them, love them, take them with you places, and just see kind of what happens. And I will see you in a little while for lesson number 3, and we'll continue to make our way through the cards. Thanks for hanging out with me in this earwig free space. Thank you for listening. Thank you for just, being a part of this. And please like and subscribe if you want to continue on this little journey. So I hope you have an amazing day and happy learning.